You don't know why you came to this village. Perhaps it was a silent calling carried by the wind. Perhaps it was because your wristwatch stopped ticking on a misty morning. Or maybe it's because you, too, had stopped moving long ago. The small village lies hidden deep within the forest. It has no name on any map. The road leading into the village winds like the fading stroke of a dry ink brush, forgotten by time. Low rooftops peek through the canopy of ancient trees, while faint kitchen smoke blends with the musty scent of moss and rotting wood. You were led to a wooden house at the edge of the village, where an old man lives alone. People call him the last watchmaker. The door creaks as you knock gently. Inside is an old, dusty room, bathed in soft light from a small window. On the walls, you see antique clocks hanging closely together, pendulum clocks, pocket watches, miniature sundials. Each one bears its own distinct look, its own scratch, its own story. But all of them share one strange thing: none of them are ticking. You step closer. One is stopped at 4:44. Another at 12:01. A tiny one froze at 9:11, its second hand forever suspended, just shy of the next mark. You can't help but ask, why don't you fix them? Aren't you a watchmaker? The old man sits behind a worn table, gently polishing a clock face with a frayed cloth. He looks up at you, his eyes deep, like they've witnessed the length of time itself. Then he smiles softly, as if he's heard the question many times before. Because each of them chose the most beautiful moment in its owner's life. You're surprised. He isn't joking. When that moment comes, he says, they know there's no need to count any further. You fall silent. You glance at your own watch, lying still on your wrist, the hour hand frozen at 7:10, as if it too had chosen a moment to stop. But you can't recall anything special about that time. Nothing at all. Just an ordinary morning. Or perhaps, that's what makes it strange. You sit down and tell him that you haven't been able to fix your watch. You've tried changing the battery, adjusting the time, even shaking it gently. But it remains lifeless, as if it no longer needs to run. He doesn't touch your watch. Just looks at it. Then he speaks in a low, slightly hoarse voice. The hour hand isn't broken. It just doesn't want to move anymore. You're stunned. What do you mean? He doesn't answer. Instead, he quietly pulls out an old piece of paper from a drawer, its edges slightly curled, the ink smudged and yellowed with age. On it is a rough map, drawn in brown ink, leading from the village to a mountain called Peak of No Thought. He places the map in your hands. If you want the hour hand to return, you must go to the place where time does not exist. There, you'll discover what truly matters. You look at the map. Peak of No Thought. The name feels distant and hollow, as if the place doesn't quite belong to this world. You glance at him, not for comfort, but to see if he might be joking. Yet he remains there, his gaze calm, as though time itself has never passed. You ask, has anyone ever gone there? He shakes his head. No one in the village ever has, they're all afraid. Once you go up there, you never return the same. You gently tighten your grip on the map. Outside the window, the treetops rustle as if calling the wind. Inside, the clocks on the walls remain still, not broken, but holding tightly to some forgotten memory. You understand now, this journey isn't just to fix a watch. It's to find a part of yourself that was lost, a part that stopped beating long ago without you even noticing. You stand up, bringing nothing but the stopped watch, an old faded map, and a heart that doesn't yet know what it's searching for. But even without knowing why, you know you must go.